Hey guys, Soda here back again to another movie review, and today we'll be reviewing Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So Shang-Chi is directed by Destin Daniel Cranston, I think, and features Simon Liu, Tony Keong, Aquafina, Fail Shan, and Ben Kingsley. So the plot to Shang-Chi is very simple. Shang-Chi's father, Wen Wu, he has been living for about 1,000 years, and the thing that's been making him live are these 10 rings. And so all his life he was like, wow, I've lived for so long and there's nothing for me to actually live for besides these rings, until he finds this magical forest that's protected by all these magical warriors, and that's where he meets the love of his life, his wife. I forgot his wife's name. What was her name? Yeah, I forgot her name, but yeah, he met his wife right there, and so his wife is where he found out, like, that's who he has to live for. He finally sees that he finally has something to live for, his wife. Like, he actually has something to, like, he actually has a purpose throughout these 1,000 years of living. So yeah, and then he ends up getting kids. Shang-Chi and what was her name? Leiko Wu or something like that. Shang-Chi's sister. And so like he trains them really hard. Well, at first he was a normal dad with them and treating them like a happy family. Like, at first it was just a normal family until his wife died. Like, these criminals and thugs killed his wife, and so after that, that made him get really mad, and that made him go and kill all the people that were responsible, with his son even watching. And so since then, he's been training his son really hard. He didn't train the daughter because he didn't train the daughter for some reason, but the daughter, like, would always watch how he trained, and so she would, like, learn by herself, like how he was training, and so that made her a good fighter too. And so we fast forward, and then Shang-Chi, he decides to run away when he turns 14. Like, they try to send him on his first mission, but then he's like, no. And he gets too scared, so he runs away, and then he ends up going to high school and having a normal life, and he meets his best friend, Katie. And so, yeah, and so we fast forward, like, I think 10 years later, something like that, like 8, 10 years later, where he's already an adult and he knows how to fight. Um, like, his father tries to bring him back to his hometown, and then he finds out that his father has this plan to go to his mother's main home, like where she was from, and try to bring her back. But he's doing so much bad shit trying to bring her back, and, like, he thinks this thing to bring her back, like, is good and will bring her back, but no, it's actually really bad, and he does not know it. So so Shang-Chi and his sister and Katie, like, all see that what he's doing is wrong. Like, what he's doing will not bring her back, so they're trying to stop his father. So yeah, that's basically the whole plot of this movie. Now, did I like Shang-Chi? Yeah, I really like Shang-Chi, actually. This movie was really good, actually. What was I gonna say? Okay, before I go into my thoughts, I'm just gonna say, like, if you guys remember, last month I did a review for the Suicide Squad, and I was supposed to review it like 2 months before, but I didn't get enough time to. And so with reviewing this movie, I have the exact same thing going on, because this movie came out last month and I was supposed to review it last month, but I never got the time to. So yeah, I've still been really busy. I've still been kind of stressed. I've still been going through a lot. I haven't even been at my home much anymore. So yeah, I rarely get time to do videos now. But no promises. But Venom Let There Be Carnage came out, so I might review both Venom movies. It's a maybe right now, but it's depending on how much time I get. But this is not for sure yet, but this is for sure. Well, I have fall break coming up this week, like this coming up week, and so maybe I might review some horror movies too. Because if you guys remember, last October like for that whole month, all I was reviewing was just horror movies, and I reviewed a lot. But this month I probably might not review much, but I'll review quite a bit. Yeah, that's for sure. I might review a bit of horror movies. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Okay, so let's get on to my thoughts. So Shang-Chi was amazing actually. Like I thought it was really good, but the thing is, so many people were saying like, "Oh, this is the best Marvel movie. It's so action-packed. It is so good. The best Marvel movie we've ever had." So many people kept saying all this good stuff about it. And so when I went to see this movie, like I kind of like was hoping for that same hype. But I was actually kind of overhyped actually. Like I feel like so many people overhyped this movie actually. So that's my main flaw with this. I feel like people overhyped this movie more than Black Panther, honestly. But I don't know which one I like more, this or Black Panther. I mean they both have kind of the same feel to it, but honestly, yeah, like now that I think about it, they both like feel kind of the same. Yes, but I don't know which one I like more as of right now. But Shang-Chi, but it's still a really good movie, don't get me wrong. I still really liked it, but I just feel like I could have liked it more if people didn't overhype it for me. So yeah, now let's get on to the characters of this movie. So first off, let's get on to Shang-Chi. I thought Shang-Chi was an amazing character actually. Like he was an awesome character. I really liked him a lot, and he was my favorite character of this movie, honestly. Like, and I really loved the whole father and son turning against each other feel to it. Like I really liked that a lot. Like that whole theme of the movie, that was so beautiful. Like it reminded me a lot like Star Wars in a way. So yeah, and I just really like those movies where father and son turn against each other, and I just thought it was super cool. And then there was a lot of fight scenes with him and his dad, which I thought were really cool. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention something. The thing that people didn't overhype with this movie was the action. This action was actually very well handled. Like it was actually very like unique. Like it was a very unique style of action, and it was awesome actually. Like the most of the action scenes of this movie were very mind-blowing. Like the end battle like was so mind-blowing, and I was just super amazed by it, and I was like, wow, this is actually getting me on the edge of my seat. So yeah, I really loved the end battle a lot, and then the train scene was really cool too. Yeah, and that scene was really funny too. And this movie was a lot of a comedy too, and yeah, and it mostly comes from the character of Katie, Shang-Chi's best friend. Yeah, and I thought she was the funniest character in this whole movie actually. So yeah, and I just really loved the whole comedy feel to it too. This movie actually made me crack up at times. Um, Let me think. Is there anything else I should say? Okay, let's get back to Shang-Chi. So I really liked his backstory, how he got trained really hard as a kid. Like he was even punching like wood walls, and he was even making his knuckles bleed so much. Okay, uh, let me think. Should this movie have? I'm trying. I think I'm gonna try to avoid spoilers for this review. Actually, like I don't think I'm gonna go into too much spoilers. I might go into like just a little bit, but yeah, just one little spoiler, and that's all I'll say. Just one little spoiler, and that's it. And it'll just be for a certain character, but I'll get to that in a bit. So with Shang-Chi, I really like that whole story. Like I feel like he had a pretty dark story actually, and then he ran away, and then he just tried to get a normal life. But he still remembered all his techniques with fighting. So when he fights people, he was really good at it. But he was always shy. He was always like shy to fight people because he didn't want to really show off like all he did in his old life. Because like there was this one part where Katie was talking about how he almost got in a fight with this kid, but then Katie came in and she started like annoying the kid, and that made him like get annoyed and just walk away. Yeah. Let me think. Anything else about Shang-Chi? So yeah, and I just felt like all the whole stuff with his father, like just put a lot of emotion to this movie. Like it had a lot of emotional scenes that I was not expecting at all. So and especially coming from like the whole mother thing, like the whole mother thing, I thought was really emotional. How he lost his mother and all of that whole flashback. I thought all those scenes were really emotional, and I really felt something with those scenes. Um, Anything else I should say? Let me think. So I can't really remember much. I mean, I can remember a lot from this movie, but like, if I had just come back from seeing this movie and reviewed it, I would remember a lot more. But right now, I'm just trying to think of what I remember because I saw this movie just once last month. Let me think. Anything else I just say about Shang-Chi? Oh yeah, and the Ten Rings, like, how could I not, like, I'm already 10 minutes into this video and I have not talked about the Ten Rings. I thought all the scenes involving the Ten Rings, like his father using the Ten Rings and Shang-Chi using the Ten Rings, I thought all those scenes were fucking awesome. Like, those Ten Rings are even more, I would say are even more cooler than fucking Vibranium. Yeah, those 10 rings are so powerful, and they just were really awesome. How you just put your hands out and then like they just attack, and they're super powerful. Yeah, they were just super cool. Yes, and then like the way they move too, like if you take them out, and the way they move just looks super satisfying. They look super dope. Yeah, it was just so cool, and just the way like the powers of the 10 rings like look super satisfying too. And I don't know, I just felt super like relaxed whenever like the 10 rings would be in action. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Let me think. Anything else I should say about about the main character of Shang-Chi? I think that's it. So yeah, Shang-Chi was a cool character. I mean, he's not as cool as Captain America and Iron Man and all of them, but he was still a really cool Marvel character. And I hope they could bring him to the Avengers someday, and maybe like join up with the last of the Avengers, and that'd be cool. But I'm just hoping too much right now. Let me think. Katie, the character of Katie, I thought was really funny actually. Like, I thought all the scenes with her were really funny, and I thought she was really necessary. Like, she was mostly there for comic relief and to support Shang-Chi, but I thought her presence was just really good. And yeah, and I did feel for her actually. I didn't really even think I was gonna even care about her, but I actually felt for her a lot of times, and a lot of times this movie gave me anxiety. Like, there was this one really cool action scene that was like right in front of a building. It was in Japan. It was like in the windows of the buildings, like, you know how there's like little walkways and bamboo like on next to buildings in Japan. Like, there was a huge fight with that, and that scene really got me at the edge of my seat. Like, that actually gave me so much anxiety, especially Katie being involved in that. She didn't even know how to fight. I was just really like, wow, like in awe on that scene. And yeah, that scene was fucking awesome too. Let me think. Anything else I should say about Katie? So yeah, and I thought she was really cool at the end. Like, at the end battle, like she was able to master a bit of stuff like arrows, and I thought that whole scene was really cool. And then we get on to Shang-Chi's father, Wenwu. I thought he was a really cool antagonist actually. Like, he wasn't like he was sort of the antagonist, but not really. Yeah, I mean, no, I'm just saying too much now. Like I'm trying really hard to avoid spoilers right now. But Wenwu was really awesome. Like, he was meant to be the real Mandarin, like the real Mandarin, and then the fake Mandarin like copied off him or something like that. So yeah, he's supposed to be the real Mandarin. So I hope Mandarin fans are happy about this, that we finally get the real Mandarin. I mean, not the Mandarin you would want, but still a really cool Mandarin. But speaking of the Mandarin, the fake Mandarin is in this movie. Okay, that was the tiny spoiler that I was gonna tell you guys. That's the only spoiler I'm gonna say. But I'm just gonna say the real Mandarin was in this movie, and he was funny as fuck. I liked him a lot. I mean, he wasn't really necessary in this movie, but he was still really funny. I just thought everything he was in just made me crack up so much. And he had this little animal from the forest, from the Forbidden Forest, and he named him Morse, and he was able to understand him. Like, the animal didn't speak English. He was just muttering a lot, like making little noises, and he was able to understand him. Yeah, just all those scenes with his Mandarin, or what's his name? What was his name again? His real name, Trevor. Yeah, Trevor Slattery. So yeah, just all the scenes with Trevor were just super funny, and how he even went to the the Forbidden Forest with them at the end, and like he was still like doing his actor skills. Yeah, just he was just so cool. He was just so cool in this movie. Yeah, and I'm just really glad we got to see Trevor Slattery again in a way people don't hate him. Yeah. Uh, Let me think. Anything else I should say? So yeah, back to Wenwu. So he was really cool. Like his whole storyline. I probably said this already. I probably said this a lot of times already, but his whole storyline I thought was really dope. And then towards the end of the movie, towards the end of the movie, that whole like scene with him was just wow. Like that whole end battle with him like was, I would say that scene was the coolest scene of the whole movie actually. Um, Anything else about Wenwu? I should say. Wenwu was a really good antagonist. Let me think. Oh yeah, and then we get to Shang-Chi's sister. She was really cool too. How her father never like got to train her, like he never invited her to train with her brother, but she was always looking at how her brother was training, and she was learning some stuff there, and then she got to learn by herself, and she even like owns this big like fighting arena, like she owns it all, and she even got to fight her brother at one point. And and she was really dope too. How she was always like, I think her main power was like this. What was her main technique again? I'm trying to think. But she had this main technique. I forgot what it was, but it was like this main weapon she would use. But I thought that was really cool. I forgot like what it's called though. Yeah, I'm sorry. But if you guys seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Is there anything else I should say about Shang-Chi's sister? Let me see. So yeah, and the whole relationship with her and Shang-Chi, like the brother-sister thing was really cool. And I like that whole story, how when Shang-Chi ran away, he was the only person that he told. And he told her, I'd be back within 5 days, but he never came back at all. Like 5 days turned into 5 weeks to 5 months to never. Yeah. And that whole story I thought was really emotional. Let me think. And I really felt for his sister right there. And I could kind of relate too. I could kind of relate too, cause like my sister is not around anymore. Like she doesn't even live in the state anymore. Let me think. Is there anything else I should say about the sister? I think that's it. So yeah, she was cool, and all the fighting scenes with her were cool too. Let me think. Any other characters I should say? I think that's all the characters in this movie. Oh yeah, and then there's Wong too, but he wasn't really a main character. Like he was sort of like a cameo character in a way, but he was cool too. And there was a really funny scene with him too, like towards the end credits. Like that scene really got me laughing so much and clapping. Yeah, that scene would crack me up so much. I won't spoil it, but like it was just super funny. Oh yeah, the end credits. I won't spoil the end credits, but I'll just say the end credits are really cool. Like there's actually some really surprising cameos that I did not see coming. Like some certain main characters. Okay, no. I'm saying too much now. But I'm just gonna say these cameos I did not see coming at all. Like at all. So yeah. Let me think. Anything else I should say? Oh yeah, and the effects in this movie, like not just the action, but the effects were done beautifully too. Like at the end battle with the creatures, like there was these creatures moving around, and I thought they looked so beautiful. Like they actually looked very eye popping, and they just looked so beautiful to look at. And I was just very in awe looking at how all these creatures were made, and they were just so like they had so much creativity going into this movie, so much. Especially with the whole forest, like, and the animals in the Forbidden Forest were just so beautiful. Like, I don't even know how they came up with all this creativity. So yeah, let me think. Anything else I should say about this movie? Let me think. Anything else? So yeah, the settings, like the settings of this movie, like the whole scenery I thought was beautiful too. Like the whole scenery with the forest, the cities they would go to. I thought the whole scenery was done very well, and yeah, the scenery was beautiful too. Let me think. So yeah, with the pacing to this movie was like 2 hours or so. I mean, it goes by really fast actually though. Like it goes by really fast for 2 hours. Like it actually like the pacing like for 2 hours like it actually feels shorter than the other ones. So yeah, it feels shorter than the other Marvel movies actually. And I would say it kind of had the same pace as Black Panther in a way. Let me think. Uh, Anything else I should say? Oh yeah, and this movie was a very different Marvel movie. I like this did not really feel like an MCU movie actually. It felt like a normal like a normal Japanese martial arts movie. It did not feel like a Marvel movie at all. Like I don't know, like it just felt like a very different MCU movie, and I really liked that a lot about it too. Uh, Anything else I should say about Shang-Chi? Let me think. I don't really think I have much flaws with this movie besides people overhyped it for me. I mean, I don't think I have much flaws with this movie actually, but um, I'll just get to my rating. My rating for this movie will probably be a solid A. Yeah, that's fair for this movie. Yeah. Bye and see you all in the next review.